Good day, viewer. You are welcome to Ogbo Media House. I'm here in the studio at this moment to bring to you another series of our leadership conversation, leadership discussion. I am your regular host on this. In our previous discussion, we spoke about the way leaders should think. But today, we'll be looking at increasing respect as leader. How leader can increase their respect. When we talk about this, many people often have a misconception of this. We call it leadership deception. Most people believe once they get to leadership position, they're automatically commanding every person's respect and forget how to increase their respect. But that is a misconception. Respect in leadership is not imaginary, but measurable. Therefore, as leaders have the responsibility to increase their respect. Leadership position itself commands some kind of respect. Therefore, it is the leader's responsibility to try to know when people are respecting his position or himself. The leader has to develop the capacity to know when people are respecting his position or himself. In most time in our society, people get deceived. Once they step into leadership position, they are commanding every person respect and ignore their own way of increasing their respect. And which is the reason why I am here today to share with you how to increase your respect as a leader. Respect in leadership cannot be awarded or mandated. Respect in leadership cannot be awarded or mandated. You can only earn people respect. You can only earn people respect. Don't expect or imagine that people are respecting you because you are now in a position. People can be polite to you, admiring your position. That doesn't mean that they are respecting you. So you have it as a responsibility to work hard to increase your respect as a leader. Once you get into leadership position, the first two things you have to be thinking about or be conscious of is how to maintain and increasing your respect. How to maintain and increasing your respect. Some people get into leadership position without being mindful of this. So before they know it, they will lose the respect, and even the one they have before they get into the position, they will lose it. That is why in Nigeria today, many people leave the leadership position without any little respect from the people to them. But I am now bringing to your understanding that if you get into leadership position, do not forget your two great important responsibility: maintaining and increasing your respect. As a leader, you have to do this, otherwise you will lose your respect. And one thing you will understand is that people don't naturally or always follow people. People don't always follow people by accident. They follow individuals in whose respect they believe and respect. So if you are just in position, like we said in our earlier conversation, that being in position does not make one a leader. Until you have the capacity to lead and increasing your respect, people will not respect you. When we speak about increasing respect in leadership, most people, especially Nigerians, always have a misconception of this. They will look at it from the aspect of accumulation of wealth to make themselves look honorable. But let me tell you something. If you use leadership position to acquire wealth for yourself, people may admire you, but they will not respect you. One of the problems we have in this society, people don't know when others are just admiring them. They misunderstood respect or admiration to mean respect. No. Somebody admiring your position does not mean he's respecting you. You need to understand this. That is why many people, when they get into a position, they will never be careful to know whether people are actually respecting them or they are admiring them. For the fact that people are admiring you, polite with you, does not mean they are respecting you. Therefore, as a leader, you have the responsibility to increase your respect. Before people can respect you, you have to do it. So today, I'm going to show you some way to increase your respect. How a leader can increase their respect? Number one, as a leader, to increase your respect within and among your followers, you have to always think in terms of direction. Thinking in terms of direction. That is one way that you can increase your respect from your followers. When you get into leadership position, it is not all about sitting in position, but it's all about you knowing where your society is going, know how they can get there, and who they actually need to get there. This is one big problem we have in our society today. That in most time, people will come and nominate certain individuals for leadership position without considering that they have the ability to navigate. A leader should be able to know where his society or a nation is heading for. Know how they can get there. Know who they need to get there. This is how you can increase your respect. In every society, people always make a tentative move in different directions. In every society, people always move a tentative move in different directions. But it is the leader's responsibility to guide them and take them through the rightful direction to their destination. So if you don't have this capacity, and your people get to know that you don't have it, they will stop listening to you, they will stop respecting you. That is one way you can increase your respect. Don't just thinking that you are now in position, therefore every person is respecting you. No. You have to know how your society, where your society is going, how to get there, who they may need to get to their destination, and take them through the rightful direction to that destination. That is one way you can increase your respect. Then number two thing that you will do to increase your respect within and among your followers, you have to always fight for the freedom of others. Always fight for the freedom of others. One of the things that makes a leader, a real leader, is the ability to fight in the interest of his people. When your people get to know that you are actually fighting in their interest, they will respect you. They will respect you. But today, what are we seeing in our country? We often see where leaders use the people to fight for their own interests. They don't always fight for the people. They don't always think about the people. If you are like that, you will not be able to earn your people respect. Let people see you that you are always fighting for them. Let people see you that you are always thinking of them. Let people see that you are always looking for the way to improve their life. The moment they see this in you, they will cast themselves down for you. They will leave themselves for you. That is one thing you must understand. So when people know that you are always fighting in their interest, they will respect you. Time will not permit me. I would have tell you a little story about a certain woman in the United States. They call her Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman. This lady was one of the people that fight for the freedom of the black from South American to North American during the time of slavery. When she was coming up as a young person, she was seriously injured by a white man who wanted her support in order to punish an escaping slave. But this lady, he refused. She refused. And at the age 24, she got married to a man called Tubman. And when she got married, and the slavery is still continuing in the north. In the north. So he heard that there is no more slavery in the south. Oh, there's no more slavery in the north. So she was living in Maryland, in the South America. So when he heard this, she had to struggle to get herself away from the south to North America. He had to get herself from the north, from the south to North America. So when she told the husband was not willing to follow. But this woman, she escaped and she came back again. She came back again to South America. to escape most of her family member and the rest. And let me tell you, the woman was not so much pretty, she's not learned, but because of her determination to fight for the freedom of the people, all the people she escaped from the south to north, they respected her as leader. That is what I'm saying to you. If you are in leadership position, all you know that you are doing is how to amass wealth for yourself. People will not respect you. Try to fight for the freedom of your people, and then you can earn their respect. Then number 3 things you must do in order to earn your followers' respect is never leave your society the way you meet it. Never leave your society the way you meet it. In our society today, most people have assumed leadership position and they left the position without anything to show for their leadership. That is a very big shame. When you get into the position of leadership, one thing you must constantly think of is how to make major impact in that position. Don't leave your society in the way you meet it. Try to make sure that you register your name with the impact you make. Register your name in the heart of your people through the impact you make. That means try to look for the way to create some innovation. Look for the way to do something that will make people to remember you. But unfortunately, most people today don't know what to do. They only sit in the position and they always go in a flamboyant way because they are sitting in money. Oh, I can tell you, you are not really commanding anybody respect. If you think that people are respecting you because you are in a big leadership position, you are wasting your time until you learn to fight for the freedom of your people. It is leaders that fight for the freedom of people. What we are seeing in Nigeria today is opposite. That people are rather fighting for their leaders. It is wrong. It is leaders that fight in the interest of their people. So I am challenging you as a leader, always try to fight for the freedom of your people. Then number 3 things you have to do to increase your respect as a leader. That is what I have just mentioned. Don't leave your society the way you meet it. Then I talk about 4. Sorry, pardon me. Then number 4 things that you must do to increase your respect within and among your people is never you undermine or underestimate a get-together party with your people. Never you undermine a good get-together party with your people. Most times people don't have this knowledge. Once they are being privileged to get into the leadership position, they will just forget. They will ignore their people. They will never think of how to create avenue for him or her to mingle with the people. When you are mingling with the people, you are building your respect with them. Because people always want somebody they can access. They want the leader they can access. They want the leader they can discuss with. So when you understand the importance of get-together party with your people, you will lose your respect. From time to time, try to create avenue for you to have a party, a good party with your people, so that as you are mingling with them, they can tell you their challenge, and you will know how to communicate with them what is your challenge in the leadership position. I will tell you, even here in my local government where I am speaking from right now, that is a major challenge we are having. The people in leadership position, they have the problem of communication. They don't know how to communicate with their people. No get-together party. Once in a while party is not enough. You need to create avenue for you to mingle with your people from time to time. With that, you are increasing your respect. Time will not permit me to go on mentioning many. But with these few that I have mentioned, you can develop your own way of increasing your respect. But do not neglect this one I share with you. Do not forget to think in terms of direction. Do not forget to fight for the freedom of people. Do not forget to make impact in your society. Never leave your society the way you meet it. And do not undermine the importance of get-together party. That is how far I can go with you today on leadership conversation. And as you listen and you put them into practice, you will find your leadership journey in a whole new level. And people will begin to celebrate you as a leader. This is how far we can go. And this is where I want to draw the curtain. And before I go, I want to encourage you to follow us in all our social media handle. When you follow us, you will not regret. Because we have a lot to share with you. That is what I am saying to you right now. Try to follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and many more. And it shall be well with you. Have a nice day.